Alright, so I just finished installing the Mobokey Cam PRO into my 2004 Acura MDX, and this will just be a quick review on the app and how the whole system works, and especially some pointers about the installation. So I am just a car enthusiast. I've had some experience installing car radios, but honestly not much, and so this installation involved a lot of reading online about the electrical system of the car, specifically the one I own, and it involved a lot of painstaking time to find the right wires and configure it correctly. In any case, it's working now, and I've got the app open, and so we'll see how I can unlock and lock the car just fine. I can save my parked location, and I can turn on the stereo. It's on right now. That'll also turn on the heat, so just turn it off, and if I hold it down I can get the car started. So I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted out of the system, to be able to start the car from my house, get it heated up before we go out. And stop it. It also has an auto start and stop and auto lock and unlock based on distance from the device. And so if I get closer, we'll see if it, let's see, let me lock it first. Alright, so it's locked. See if it'll unlock. It might be because I was already in range when I locked it. So let's unlock it. And it's a little intimidating in here. You can see I don't have a key in right now. We're gonna try it again with proximity. It's locked right now. As I get closer, it unlocks and starts. So that works pretty well. All in all, I'm very impressed. I actually expected less than what I got here with the device and the app. The app works really nicely, at least on iPhone. I can change my settings. For example, how close I want it to be for locking and unlocking. I can turn on auto lock and auto engine deactivate if my Bluetooth turns off or if my phone gets stolen. I can also, what I needed to do for my car, since it's a bit older, is a self-start timer. Originally it was at a half second, and that wasn't enough to get the engine to turn over. And so at 1 second, it works a lot better there. You got locking mode and key management, and you have other options for sharing the car, but that's not what I got this device for. All right, so continuing to show a bit about the installation. I left it taken apart. I just barely finished, so I left it taken apart to show a few things. Now, the Mobokey itself is under my steering wheel. First off, the installation videos were for European cars with the wheel over there, and there was one for a Honda, one for a Toyota. Yeah, not very helpful in comparison. So definitely need to know your own vehicle pretty well and look up the wiring diagrams online. And I read tons of forums about quirks about the vehicle, so just be ready to do your research. So yeah, the Mobokey, there's a little green light back there. Sorry, I didn't pull it out. Okay, I'm not gonna try to put it back. Now these, the blue tape you see is connecting 3 different relays. Those came with the Mobokey, and I just did it as they did in the video, connecting those relays together. And then I brought the wires up through the, sorry, let me get this in focus. Brought the wires up through the steering column here, and here they connect to the wires for my ignition. And you can see I spliced into the start cable. I cut it into two, and connected the relay there. Then you have this going into the accessory, and you have this going into both on wires. My car has 2 on wires, so the on relay needed to be conjoined with both of those. I also installed a switch. This is just something I did extra, and to turn off the system to make it, you know, so it's back to normal, I guess you could say. You could remove the fuse from here, but I just decided to install a switch, an on-off switch, in case it gives me trouble in the future, or it's a stressful moment, something's going on and the car alarm's going off, you don't know what's going on, I could just switch it off. So that I would find pretty useful to do. Now my door is open because this is where the factory alarm wire disengage is. So I had to open the door, and I got into this wire, and I'm combining it along here with this cable goes to the unlock from the Mobokey. So every time I hit unlock, it will disengage the alarm. And then this goes to a relay, which I also added extra. I had to go to the auto parts store and get that, because every time I would turn the car on with the app, or turn on the accessory power, it would trigger the alarm. And this will take the signal from the accessory power, and it will convert it to a negative signal, which is sent to the alarm wire. And doing that, sending a negative signal, will disengage the alarm. Just a quirky thing about my car, and you'll have to know your security system yourself. But I had to add this extra to make it work. Now, in using the app together with the key, let's see if I can find. All right. Oh, one other thing is I had to pull out the chip from my key, and I just stuck it up there. That little white thing above the ignition. They also mentioned that in the installation video. But for example, if I turn on my car with my key, I won't touch it here. It's not going to show up as started on here, right? And if I hit start right here, you'll hear the grinding from trying to start while it's already started. And so that's one issue, is that it doesn't sync with the current state of the vehicle. Now if I do this, and I start it with the app, you know, doing this doesn't turn it off at all. So it's like, depending on what you start it with, that has control. So it could be a feature. I considered it a feature because you want to be able to use your car with either one. And the door unlock and lock wires had to go under the console over to the fuse box. You know, different depending on every car. I would highly recommend some tools to get. This is a circuit tester, 12 volts. You connect it to ground, and when you connect it to some inputs, it'll light up with a bulb inside. Wire strippers, obviously. I got some little electric components to connect wires together. I got these to splice into wires. I found that helpful. What else? Electric tape, obviously, and stuff to take your car apart. Up here, I tapped into the left and right blinkers. So the wires, all the wires you need to know in your car are the ignition wires and the blinkers and the door lock and unlock, and probably the alarm as well. So anyway, I highly recommend the product. It was a frustrating but fun installation, but I'd say it's definitely worth it now that I got everything working, especially after getting that relay, this relay thing figured out. But as you can see, it works as advertised, and I'm really excited to use it. So definitely would recommend. Thanks for watching.